everybody, and welcome to this episode of Tales from the Fog. I'm your host, Casey, and with me, as always, is the wonderful and amazing and awesome Veronica.
Hi, everybody.
How are you doing, Veronica?
I'm doing all right. I'm, hanging in there. We had an interesting couple of weeks, so, moving on as best as we can. But there was a really big shift in my life recently. My father passed away the day after we recorded our last episode. So we were pretty much out of town from that Thursday up until, Saturday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah, we got
that.
home, pretty much like 4 in the morning that Saturday.
So the last couple of weeks have been kind of a blur. But, that's life. Sometimes, the universe gives you awesome things, the universe takes away awesome things, and yeah, so that happened. But other than that, I think I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing okay. It was a really crazy road trip, still actually getting over it, I guess. There's a lot of things. It was very emotional. It was very physically trying, driving that far. So we drove from California to Chicago, which is like a little over 2,000 miles, and we did it almost nonstop the way there. And the way back, it was pretty long too. The last day we drove a lot, so.
We left Denver at 9 a.m. and we drove all the way through, stopping for, pit stops and refuel the gas tank once or twice, and we got home at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It was a very long day.
Yeah.
But there were some bright sides. We got to see some old friends that we hadn't seen in a long time.
We did. We saw some pretty cool stuff. The one of my highlights was the speakeasy we went to in Denver. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty awesome.
It was like you walk in and it was just a ice cream shop. It just looked like a cool little mom and pop ice cream shop, but in the back, there's like a hidden button on what looks like a giant freezer door. And if you find the button and hit it, someone comes out, lets you into the speakeasy. And in the back, it's this cool, like, nerdy bar.
It's really neat. It kind of looks like a little bit, like Buck Rogers. But it looks like there's stars and there's like cosmic style seating. And it's very modern, but it's got an interesting retro futuristic vibe to it.
It's really cool. Very sci-fi.
Yeah, and all the drinks have a unique name. So they're one of them was like the eccentric genius millionaire entrepreneur, and it was a play off of Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And a lot of them had really interesting. There was one called the Tesseract, which I lost my mind over because Xander and I read together. We just read A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I lost my mind. But there are a bunch of really cool ones, and the drinks were. I think you have to be more on the classy side to really appreciate them.
They're traditional Prohibition era drinks.
They were just
renamed.
too awesome.
Just renamed, to fun sci-fi themes and stuff.
They were way too classy.
Very, very hard drinks too. Yeah. Like, one drink and you're pretty toasted.
And they were really intense beverages. I'm pretty proud of the Prohibition era alcoholics for putting up with that. They were tasty and they were unique, but
yeah, they
were a step up from your regular, gin and tonic or Bloody Mary. These were grown-up drinks.
The one I got was called the Dalek, which, if there's any Doctor Who fans out there, they know what that is. It's like the evil doctor. So, the doctor's the good guy in the show. He has an evil counterpart that also can go through time. Mm-hmm. It was grapefruit soda with some other awesome stuff. and rosemary. It had like little sprigs of rosemary in it, which drinking it with the rosemary in it was too strong because it like goes right up your nose and it's like a really intense smell.
Yeah, with that whole stick in there.
So you had to take it out, and then it was pretty good. But
So that was a really fun adventure. We got to experience, look, some of you guys may not be from around here, but there's this thing called snow. that we don't get a lot of in Southern California. And when we drove across the country, we saw a lot of it. It was pretty intense and awesome and fun. And we got to pretend like we were on Top Gear and do spin outs, trying to turn the corner just to go into a Target so that we could pee. That was a lot of fun, actually, trying to drive. Although I had a mild panic attack when we were going up the mountain and it started to snow. And you said, "Is this your first time driving through snow?" And I'm like, maybe. Without running into a ditch on the side of the road, yes.
Yeah.
And Casey's like, "Pull over." I'm like, okay. So we traded places. He drove the rest of the way.
Yep.
But it was pretty fun. I'm really grateful that I got to see my family. I mean, they're like biologically, I'm an only child, but I consider them my siblings. My dad's wife had 3 kids and has 3 kids, and I got to see them again and connect with them again, and that actually meant a lot to me. You know, getting to see them again, even under such crappy ass circumstances, was still pretty special. And they took us to some places that were memorable or at least significant to them. Like, they made sure that when we went, we ate real pizza.
Yeah.
And that I'll never forget that pizza that we went to, when we first got in, and we were like road stinky, our car was filthy, and we just pulled up to a pizza joint. And that was the first place that we ate, and it was some of the best pizza I think I've ever had in my life.
It was really good.
Oh, it was so scrumptious. It was amazing. So yeah, that did not disappoint. You know, and then we had pizza 3 times.
A bunch.
Lots of. Well, we had one of the nights on our way back, we stayed at a hotel and we got Domino's pizza, which is, you know, it's not fancy Chicago pizza, but it was.
But they delivered to the room and we didn't have to go anywhere, which is awesome.
It was pretty awesome. And after driving for something like 16 hours straight, that pizza was pretty awesome.
Yep. Very cool.
Yeah. So that was fun. What else stands out about our little impromptu road trip?
We drove by some cool stuff, even though we didn't stop. Meteor Crater, Grand Canyon.
Upside down cars.
Petrified Forest.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking like landmarks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw lots of signs for really cool things as we drove past.
Yeah, we actually drove by within a couple of miles of a fellow Decade Brigade member was getting married in Las Vegas. And we drove by when they were, you know, getting everything ready to go through the whole process. So that was pretty fun. We got to, you know, wave a digital hello to them as we're on the 15 and we just drove right through the city. We didn't stop for anything. We're just like, "Hi, Vegas. Bye, Vegas."
Yeah.
On to the next. So that was fun.
That was fun.
So shout out to Alex. Congratulations, sir.
Yes, congratulations, Alex.
And what else?
Also just announced another Decader got engaged.
Ooh, so excited.
So a lot more families coming into the brigade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a group filled with haunt kids, you know, old and new, but a lot of us have, you know, we have families. We've got little baby brigaders and lots of fun growing and passing the torch on to the next little ones. And, you know, it's going to be an awesome 2017 to see what comes around.
Yeah.
Speaking of, nothing has been made official and nothing's been announced or anything, but there are positive movements towards shows for the Decade Brigade coming up in 2017. So if you haven't already found us on Pinterest, Decade Brigade, not Pinterest, what's the other one? Instagram, Decade Brigade Official. They're starting to develop the Facebook profile. Find us, find the individual members, or find the group, because some pretty big announcements are coming. So
yeah, so
stay tuned.
Besides the standard ones that they've done in the past, there's actually potentially even more stuff coming down. So you might be able to find us in lots of different places coming soon. Yeah. Speaking of announcements, Midsummer Scream officially announced they're back in 2017.
Yay!
So that's official. I believe the dates were July 29th and 30th. But you can go to midsummerscream.org for all that information. We do know, so based on the announcement, what was the thing called? The Scare Zone area? Hollow Shadows. The Hollow Shadows is coming back, along with a bunch of other stuff. Larry Bones is again doing something in the Hall of Shadows, which has to do with another announcement that we'll talk about next. I don't think they announced exactly what mini haunt experiences are going to be there. But hopefully the information will be coming soon. July is fast approaching, which is crazy to think.
Yeah. To verify, it is July 29th and 30th, 2017 at the Long Beach Convention Center. And midsummerscream.org. You can get all the information there. They've got some cool images, scrolling through from last year and then news and upcoming stuff. We've got Universal Halloween Horror Nights, Winchester Mystery House, Queen Mary's Dark Harbor, and that's just the stuff that's been announced. So definitely keep your eyes open for this. There's going to be a lot of really awesome stuff coming up in 2017 for this event.
Yeah, for me, definitely last year, Midsummer Scream was a highlight of the summer. The show is just an amazing show, awesome panels, amazing Decay Brigade shows, which was great. They keep pushing the boundaries, so I can't wait to see what is in the pipeline for the shows this year because, we got to find a way to top ourselves. So.
Yeah, so having someone do a backflip is setting the bar pretty high, and we will be building on that. We don't know how yet. We haven't even started practicing, guys. Don't get excited, but it's going to be something awesome. We can promise you that.
Yeah. Well, I guess technically the first group practice started yesterday.
That is a really good point. We did technically start something. It was actually pretty fun.
Goofing off practicing, but the Decay Brigade crew took over Sky Zone in Anaheim, the trampoline jumping center, and just had fun and messed around.
Yeah, so a goal of ours for this year was to remain in shape, and then also remain close as a group, as a group of friends, in between the seasons. So what our, we have a member, Brandon, who has definitely stepped up as far as, being a leader, being a point of contact, being an orchestrator for so many things. Dude, Brandon, you're amazing. But he organized this event for us. And instead of, sliding, which we will be doing soon, we thought we'd do something that the friends and family could participate in as well. And we had been playing around with the idea of going to a trampoline park, and we weren't quite sure which one we wanted to go to because we heard rumors that there was one that had a Ninja Warrior course and all these epic things, and then the one that we thought we went to, and there wasn't anything like that at all. So we ended up going to just a different location, but that location was huge.
Yeah.
And was really crowded for a Monday night, but we had a ball. We had so much fun. We were landing on our heads, pushing each other to go further and further. Just like in practice, we're always pushing each other to, that was cool. What else can you do? Can you build on that? What's next? Get someone else. Can you do that? And then Erie shows up and blows us all out of the water because he's a former gymnast and a parkour, genius. So he's inverting, flipping, doing all these spins and stuff. And suddenly we all feel like we're 4. I'm like, I can jump on the trampoline.
Then everybody went to the dodgeball course because they were tired of getting shown up. And then they got obliterated by a bunch of 12-year-olds.
We had our ass handed to us, 3 times in a row?
Yep.
I think that's what these kids do.
Destroyed.
Yeah. So, if we were to take them in a sliding contest, we would win. Dodgeball, however, these kids just wiped the floor with us. It was a pretty quick and painful death.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. We got a group picture that's posted on our social media. You can check that out. A couple of our members, I know Glow, posted a whole bunch of pictures of us just farting around having fun. What was fun about this is we got to bring the kiddos. And we had, the tiniest one was, how old is Erie's baby? It's like a couple months old, maybe 6 months old.
Not even 6, I don't think.
So cute. But he was there being adorable. And then Brandon brought his baby. Paul Frechette brought his baby. I brought my human worm baby. There were a couple, in like the toddler range, and then a couple like first, second graders were farting around, and then we had all the old people. But it was a lot of fun. I think it was a good bonding experience for us. I wonder how many of us are feeling pretty sore.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty sore. I tried to keep in shape with, the audition for the stunt thing and everything, but taking 2 weeks off really makes a difference.
It does, yeah.
And I'm feeling a little old. But yeah, that was so much fun. I can't wait to do something like that again. And then,
hanging out with the group of people
They're a really good group of people.
It is, and it's fun doing it outside of the practice because, like, you know, eventually, at first the practices are pretty fun, but eventually it gets really intense.
Yeah, I mean, you're rehearsing for a show.
Yeah,
you know,
so it gets really intense,
and
and you know, some nerves get a little frayed, and you know, sometimes it's good to just get together and not worry about that and have just a fun outing. Mm-hmm. So I wonder what we're gonna do next. I did hear there was like someone posted about doing mixed martial arts thing.
Oh, Beggs was doing he's doing jujitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's an open gym at where he practices that, you know, you can go and do that. And then I also found something today. I have someone who's going to be mentoring me and kind of working with me as far as stunts go. And there's an actual gymnastics, like a gym where I can, it's open gym. So you just go and you follow the rules, but you can use any of the equipment. You can, you know, practice wherever you want to. So as far as like with working on our distance jumping and things like that, there are a lot of fun tools that the group can use to build those skills. Like there's, like a tumble track. It's just like a long track of either padding or like a trampoline.
Yeah.
And you can just, you know, run and jump and land into a foam pit at the end. And then there's got like the Olympic sized trampoline that you can jump on. Like basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to exercise beyond just sliding, hoping like maybe working some new muscles or, you know, getting over a few fears that, you know, we might be harboring somewhere deep inside that, you know, maybe we're afraid of going upside down. Maybe we're afraid of falling and hitting our head. But doing these kinds of things along with bonding everybody is going to get a lot of people past hurdles that they may not know existed.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be able to take their sliding to another level. So like no matter what sport I've done, I've always believed in cross training. So I think this is just like the coolest way for everyone to further develop their skills and hopefully, you know, bring something completely and utterly badass to the shows we've got this year.
Yeah. So yeah, the next already big announcement for 2017 is Larry Bones of Boneyard Effects. If you don't know Larry, he's a really cool guy. He did or does, I don't know if they're still going to be doing the makeup for Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood.
I don't know.
Now that he has this other side project going on, who knows? He might be, he might not be. I don't know how big his studio is and how much of a crew he has, because if he's going to be doing both of these events, that's a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So his new haunted attraction is called Into the Black. Now, do you know anything about this?
I do not.
Oh, so cool. This would be cool. So you're going to get to learn about this.
Tell me everything.
So Into the Black, I'm just going to kind of try to summarize what it is because there's a whole lot of information, and you can go to his website, which I believe is intotheblack.biz, B-I-Z. So you can go to intotheblack.biz. But the gist of it is it's a brand new haunted experience for 2017 that will take visitors on a harrowing journey this Halloween season at the Pomona Fairplex in Southern California. So the Pomona Fairplex is where they have the LA County fair.
The swap meet?
No, the fair.
No, I know. I said and the swap meet.
Oh, and the swap meet, the Winter National drag racing, NHRA drag racing events there. They do.
Isn't the American, the Rob Zombie's thing, wasn't that at that same location?
Yeah. Rob Zombie's Great American Nightmare was at this location previously, but they haven't done anything since he left. Mm. But there's been off and on throughout the years, there's been haunted attractions that have popped up there. But basically the story of this attraction is that something crazy happened back in the 1800s, in the woods. These paranormal investigators have gone in to investigate, and they never came back. And you're going to be following in their footsteps, trying to figure out what happened to the paranormal investigators and what is going on inside the woods.
Sounds optimistic.
So it's developed by Larry Bones, the Boneyard Effects team, and it's actually a 4-part adventure. So you get, I don't know, and this is just a press release, so they haven't really said how all of this is going to play out when you show up for this event. What we do know is you're going to be going through 100% by yourself. You have to go all by yourself, no friends with you. They're going to... so the first part of the experience is a short film that was created with our good friends at Hello Studios.
Yay!
And it's going to introduce you to the backstory of the Black House, which is, I guess, where this stuff happened. The second part of the experience is the haunted attraction itself, where you go through, by yourself. And that's only going to be open for 14 days. So another Midsummer Scream announcement is that the day Midsummer Scream opens is the day that tickets are going to be going on sale for Into the Black. So,
are you going to be able to buy tickets at Midsummer Scream?
I don't know. You can buy them online, so I'm assuming just go online. So if you're going to Midsummer Scream and you want to go to Into the Black, be ready to buy tickets, because I have a feeling they're going to sell out fast. Because if you're going in by yourself, it's going to be pretty low capacity, and it's only open for 14 nights. That's not a lot of time to get a lot of people through. So I have a feeling this thing's going to sell out really fast.
Do we know if it's only at night, like typical haunt hours, or maybe because...
It doesn't say. So we don't know
maybe if it's
that
like
yet.
one at a time, maybe they'll extend it, like open at 5 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. Like,
it depends on the thing. If it's in the woods, I'm assuming there's going to be outdoor attraction, which means you're going to want it dark.
Yep.
But who knows?
Yeah.
So the second part of the experience is the haunted attraction. The third part of the experience is a virtual reality terror trip back to the late 1800s, so you can witness firsthand the horrific crimes that this whole thing is based on. So you're going to be put into a virtual reality headset, and you're kind of learning about what happened, and then you're going to be put into the action. You're going to see it firsthand what actually happened back in the 1800s.
So is this the same team responsible for it's not 5150, but the thing that happened at
Fear VR? Yeah. So I have, as far as I know, Hello Studios is doing both the intro movie and then also the VR experience. And then the fourth and final component is going to be a behind the scenes documentary. So that's why I couldn't. So they're going to be doing a documentary about the making of this attraction.
How fun.
Yeah,
That's
so
a nice
it seems
little
pretty
peek.
Cool. So what it says is you're going to be going in by yourself. There's going to be 30-second intervals. So I don't know if that means maybe there's going to be multiple paths, so they can do a short interval and have people, kind of like what Sinister Point does, where they have the different routes and they can kind of keep you from seeing the other group by sending you down different paths.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this will be something similar. Even though you'll be by yourself, you'll just kind of like go in a different direction so you never run into anybody else.
Do we know anything about the footprint of the attraction?
I have no idea, but the Pomona Fairplex is gigantic. So
That'd be really neat if they could really spread it out.
Because Rob Zombie's Great American Nightmare had 4 haunted attractions and like 5 stages for music. And
wow.
I mean...
So it's like the LA County Fair. I mean, it could potentially take up that much space.
Yeah, I mean, and seeing what he did at Midsummer last year with just that little area he had, that was pretty crazy. So
he's so talented. I mean, I actually got to work with Larry Bones. I was trying to remember when, but I think this may have been before I was even married the first time, guys. So we're like flashing way back in time, but he had something, and it was with Dave Love. What was his production? Hollow.
No.
Crap. Sorry, Dave. I can't remember. I have a poster of it somewhere. Anyway, he did. It was like a VR, not VR, but it was like a digital haunted house almost, where you have recordings of actors and stuff being played on projections, and that was part of the haunted attraction.
Yeah, it was
itself.
The one that I helped out on was for the London Bridge experience. I think, or something like that in England. They changed the name because they had, I think it was called the London Bridge Dungeons, but then there's also Merlin Group, which owns Lego, the Lego theme parks and everything. They do the dungeons like the San Francisco dungeon, the London dungeons, they have like a bunch of them all around. And they had to change their name because it was too close to the London dungeons, because it was the London Bridge dungeons and the London Bridge. So in the middle of doing all that work, the name changed, and it was like kind of weird, but
that's not confusing at all. But yeah, he did. I was one of his models for one of the scare actors for an event that played out in the thing. So I got to sit both Larry Bones and I think his wife maybe was the other one. Somebody else that was part of the smaller team. And this was back. It was a small team that was working with us, and it was in a pretty small, like, chunk of an industrial complex. I imagine that he's in a bigger place now. That's just where my mind takes me. But maybe he's still working out of that same one. I don't know. It was pretty big. But it was, like, nearly head to toe in makeup. And it was just exquisite. We got to wear the pieces that he actually makes and runs productions of. And I think a lot of them are still on his website, on the Boneyard Effects.
Yeah.
With all the prosthetic pieces. And we got to do like cool, weird videos, and we shot against a green screen. And like, it was a really cool experience. And I still, call back to that whole experience with the full body makeup and the working with the director, with, Dave Lowe was directing us and like walking us through all these scenarios and everything. Like, it was really cool. So when I heard about, you had told me about Larry Bones' thing, I just didn't know very much about it at the time. But I got super excited because I know how talented this guy is.
Yeah.
And then with everything he's done at Universal, I mean, I can't wait.
And this is the first time he's ever done like a haunted attraction that's just by him.
It's going to be amazing.
So, yeah, I'm really excited to see it. We're going to have to get tickets.
Oh, absolutely.
Really quick, though, because...
We'll get them when we go. I mean, we're going to be at Midsummer Scream. I mean...
Yeah.
Just saying. But, regardless of who we're going to be with, we'd be there anyway because of, the podcast and our love for Halloween. So we can buy our tickets when we go. But I definitely want to see that badly.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
So, more news. This is onto the paranormal news.
Ooh.
As you guys know, I love to share videos with Veronica and get her very skeptical reactions and just to see how her brain reacts to weird shit. God. So,
I am
this
skeptic,
one,
huh?
Let me give you the background on this one before we play it.
Okay.
And this is going to be up on the blog post, so anybody listening can cruise over to talesfromthefog.weebly.com and check it out. Or you can just go to our Facebook page and click the link because it'll be pinned to the top. So this was captured by the Department of Wildlife. So this is the government entity that protects, our national parks and whatnot. They took this video from a helicopter. They were like cruising around Alaska, and they caught something in one of the lakes, and it's very interesting. So let's check it out, and then we'll get Veronica's reaction.
I can't wait. Huh.
So what'd you think?
It looked like an alligator or a crocodile or something.
Yeah, it has like a weird kind of movement to it, huh?
Yeah, because it's got it slithers like a snake, but it's not moving with the waves on the water, so it does look like its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got like a meaty center to it. Like it looks like it has a long, flat, I know that we like to identify things with what we know already. So to me, it looked like a crocodile or an alligator. I don't know if they survive up there. It's pretty cold water. I mean, they said that there was ice forming on it. I don't know if an alligator or a crocodile could survive in that kind of
think they could.
Climate. I always pictured them in like the swamps of Florida and, stuff like that. But
there's big fish out there. They said it was 15 feet long.
So
there's like sturgeon that has often been misidentified as like a Loch Ness monster type thing.
But doesn't a sturgeon have like a fin, like something that comes off the top of it?
I think so.
And there was nothing
But-
like that on this. I mean, it could be that the fin was
The
eaten off.
interesting thing is how wide it looked.
It
like
looked wide and flat.
Yeah.
It looked like it had very distinct chunks, but it's hard to tell through the water. It was hard because the only thing that's ever in frame with it is another, either it looks like a little island or a chunk of ice or something like that.
Yeah,
So
you don't
it's-
have a whole lot of reference on size.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I would love to watch that thing over and over again. And I'd love to think it was some kind of monster that we haven't
It'd be better if
discovered.
there was a boat in the water too, so you can be like, okay, there's the boat, there's the thing, like really get a visual on how big it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, the video isn't the highest quality. The images aren't very high quality. It's very, very high contrast. So there's not a lot of detail in, the object itself. But the way that it's moving, it doesn't appear to be matching the waves.
Yeah, so it's not something that's just kind of like floating with the current or whatever.
Yeah, it's actually looks like it's floating against it, but that could be an illusion because the waves are traveling one way. We tend to relate something as moving in the opposite direction when we look at it. So it could look like it's traveling in a certain direction, but it may not be. And then also the way that it's moving, there's the surface waves, but there could be additional currents happening underneath the water that we don't see, which could be causing something to wiggle around,
Yeah.
I mean, my professional opinion, guys, which is, not worth anything at all. It looked awesome. I would love to see more of it. And of course, I am a skeptic. I will, I love to analyze and overanalyze things and try to find a more tangible answer, based on fact and, research and science over, I really hope it's Nessie. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I would love for that to exist. I love things that come across that have been on this planet for so long, but no one's come across it yet. That's just freaking cool. And that's also science. So, I mean, it wouldn't be the Loch Ness Monster because it's not Loch Ness. But
yeah.
it would be a really cold monster that...
We can call it the ice monster of Alaskan rivers. I don't know. Alaskan River ice monster.
That rolls off the tongue.
Sure does.
We can call it
We didn't have any
Snowflake.
beer to drink, guys, because we've been gone. So we're out of alcohol. So my brain is not functioning at a proper level for this.
He's a functioning alcoholic, kids. I'm just kidding. That's not true. No, but we had our fair share of alcohol when we were on the road. Mostly
On the road.
while we were driving. No, I mean, we hadn't had alcohol except for when we were recording. We don't drink at home anymore. And we used to drink a lot. Not like a lot. But, we enjoyed our fancy beers. And then we stopped drinking for a while, except to record, because that's fun. And then we went to Illinois, and then we drank every day we were there. We
Yeah.
had some kind of booze, and it was pretty fun. So, yeah, sober podcast.
Mhm.
Probably, a nice change of pace. But yeah, that was a really cool video. I would love to see more of that.
Look at that. The first video that she was actually kind of impressed with, guys.
I just want to know what it is. I mean, I don't care if it's a rope. I want to see what happened to create that circumstance
Yeah.
that made it look so cool. Kind of like seeing, the face in the moon. We're always going to pin it to something that we can actually identify, like finding faces in toast, Like we're going to, I forget what the technical name is for that, but
Yeah, that effect where you just your brain tries to piece together what it thinks it should be.
yeah, especially faces. We like to
Yeah.
recognize faces. But I mean, as much as I really don't think that was something that we haven't discovered before, enough of me really wants it to be. It'd be pretty neat.
Even if it's just a really cool new fish.
Anything that would be, even if it's a fish that exists, it's 15 feet long
Yeah,
and it's existing in ice cold water with that, and it looks really cold.
it does.
So, I mean, is that considered an extremophile?
No.
Not quite that extreme, huh?
Yeah.
Those are cool, though.
Water bears are extremophiles.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They can survive in space.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, really? Have we tried putting one on a space vessel and sending it off?
Yeah, they've found them in space too.
Whoa.
Because they they can't survive. They like go into like a sleep mode basically when they're in space. But
like
then,
hibernation.
Yeah, so like, and then like you can bring them back down to Earth and warm them up, and then they wake up.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
See, science.
very cool.
I love science.
Also, water bears are really adorable.
Aww. I don't even know what that looks like. I was just going along. Water bear, right. I know what you're talking about. I don't. I'm going to Google it later. Aww. That I can relate to. Children's
Water
cartoon. Oh, that's a sea bear.
Sea bear, yeah. Same thing.
Yeah, you got to wear
They
the
also
tutu.
call them lake pandas or something. Like, they have weird names. There's like a bunch of different kind of fun names for them.
Lake panda?
Yeah.
I love it. Anyway, that was fun. Thanks for showing me that.
Yeah. So, you got anything else to talk about?
I don't know. I'd like to put out a call to the listeners. If you have any bizarre, footage that you've come across on YouTube or wherever that you would like us to discuss and review. This is a really fun segment that I could see us doing again is, the unveiling of the video and trying to figure out what it is. So if you have any of those and you want to pass those along, find us on the social medias and hit us up because this is pretty cool.
Yeah, you can post them on our Facebook page. Or you can just send me a link, through the messenger or whatever.
Yeah, we're pretty accessible when it comes to the social media. And I don't think do we have an official email address, like a Yahoo or a Gmail or anything like that?
No, we don't have an official email address.
No, we just go through Facebook. So if you find Casey Neihart on Facebook or Veronica Marshman on Facebook or Tales from the Fog on Facebook.
Yep.
Then, anything you've got, if you've got questions or comments or you want us to check something out, if you find a cool article about something spooky or scary, all of that's up our alley. And we have a feeling if you're interested in it, then other listeners are going to be too. So don't be shy. Yeah. Say hi to us. Tell us what you think. Go on iTunes and rate us. I know that helps as far as getting us visible through, the results. When you show up, the more ratings you have, the higher up on the list or something. I don't know.
Something like
shit.
that.
I don't know. But anyway, we would love to hear from you. Thanks for
follow us on Instagram at Tales from the Fog.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a ghost story of your own, you had your own encounter with Bigfoot, have some kind of interesting, fun story, send it our way too. Maybe we'll read it on air for everybody to listen and hear the fun stories. Yeah,
I know a lot of podcasts have listener mail and stuff. We're not above that. I think that would be a lot of fun, actually. Yeah. So, and this is, it's stories that we hope is interesting to you, like it's interesting to us. I know we're haunted stuff nerds, and anything like that, the paranormal or haunted events. Like if you think it's cool, we'll think it's cool too. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you got anything else?
I think that's it. I think we're good for the night.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for all the support that I know I had hundreds of messages from people, to the family and everything, sending their condolences and their good vibes. And, they were very much received. And, I love you guys and thank you so much for everything.
Yeah, definitely. And until next time, I guess we'll see you in the fog.
Bye, guys.
Bye.